Okay, what is going on in the NFL, man? Like, Miles Garrett is a freaking Ram, and AJ Brown got traded, and one of the biggest wide receiver free agents in the NFL right now just signed with an up and coming team. Like, okay, we gotta talk about it. Jeez Louise. And welcome back to another unfiltered episode of Talking Sports. I'm your host, Andrew, and this is my co host.
Miles Shield virtual here. So happy to be back doing an unfiltered episode.
Yeah, we're back, and as you can tell, unfiltered, virtual. We just had to piece it together like really fast because a lot of crazy stuff went down earlier today. So, anyways, lots of NFL stuff to go over. We gotta jump straight into it because we are here not for a long time, so we gotta make the most of it. So, Miles, starting out here, I touted this as a humongous free agent signing in the intro. That was joking. I was joking, guys. I'm sorry. But anyways, Odell Beckham Jr. will be returning to the New York Giants to work with John Harbaugh, Jackson Dart, and Cam Scatterboo on that offense. Miles, what do you think of this signing right here?
Listen, this may be the most TikTok famous offense we've ever seen in the NFL. All right, this is incredible. You have a guy who literally created viral videos. I mean, he is the man who created the NFL highlight reels. Like this is huge for New York fans, just as a sentimental value. And then you look at the skill. All right, let's look at what he's done, right? He's been on the Dolphins in the past few years, the Ravens. It just hasn't worked out. The Rams, where he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
And that was kind of the end of the OBJ era. And listen, when I watched when he was on the Dolphins and the Ravens, I saw flashes, but I also saw a guy who is just washed and was getting contracts based off of highlights. And I have no hate against this because I've been rooting for it ever since he did the flag football thing with Tom Brady, and I really really wanted this to happen
Yeah.
because my guy Jackson Dart, my guy Cam Scatterboo, and then you got Malik Neighbor, John Harbaugh, Isaiah Likely on that offense. Now you put Odell Beckham Jr. This is just fun. And not just Odell Beckham Jr. in that wide receiver room, but they also brought in Juju Smith-Schuster and Braxton Berrios, who I like those two a lot too. So this is honestly a very, very exciting move for the New York Giants. Now, do I think this moves the needle for me whatsoever? Absolutely not. But
Yeah.
is this a comeback story we are rooting for so hard right now? Yes.
Yep.
Is this the feel-good story, the just attention seeker, the money grab that we have been waiting for? Absolutely. Will this put people back into the stands for Giants games? Absolutely. Will the Giants be one of the most fun teams to watch this year in the NFL? Without a doubt. Whether they're good or not does not matter. The Giants will be must-watch football. Andrew, what do you have on this?
Well, I don't have much to say beyond what you just said. I'm gonna take this seriously for like one moment and say that the wide receiver room in New York for the Giants is pretty pitiful. Beyond Malik Neighbors and Darius Slayton and Isaiah Hodgins, I don't even know if Malik Neighbors is gonna be able to play in Week 1, and with all the rumblings around his injury. So, literally for this signing, it adds depth, and if you're a Giants fan, you can't complain when a depth guy is one of the most again, famous players in the NFL, one of the most, highlight reel players in the NFL with OBJ. So that's me looking at this like, literally that this is a depth signing, and it's, it can't hurt the Giants much more than, what they already have going on with their wide receiver room. You're adding another warm body pretty much that is, again, adding sentimental value and just going to be fun to watch and put seats in the stands in New York. And then for fun, what I also think about this, I'm penciling in a Week 1 OBJ shows up and then retires. I mean, because that's what happened with Mike Williams. He signed with the Chargers and was like, yeah, no, I got my money, I'm out. I'm thinking that's what we're gonna see from OBJ this time. I mean, I truly believe that's gonna happen. Honestly, like do I? It's gonna be one or the other. Like he's gonna play week one and then he's gonna retire, or he's gonna just do training camp and then say, okay, I'm done. I'm
I
not.
disagree with that.
I'm not seeing a future. I'm not seeing OBJ play more than one game. I really don't.
What?
I really don't. I
He
really
worked
don't.
so hard, posted up all this stuff, went to the flag football thing to literally reboot his career, gets a chance with the New York Giants, who made his career. How do you not see this as he would play a whole year? The bigger question for me is, can he stay healthy? That would be the only reason he doesn't play games.
And that if he can't make the team, that's the other thing. I don't.
Yeah, well, do you really cut him at this point? Can you cut him? He's you made it such a big deal that you're bringing him back. It was such a topic of conversation. I don't even think you can cut him.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna stick by my theory that yes, he could play. He could play. He totally could. He could play the full season, but is it you can't rule out the possibility that he's gonna retire like after week one and say, okay, I got my flowers. I'm gonna leave now. I got my money. I had my fun. I'm gonna leave now. Thanks, guys. I don't know. That I feel like that's an option that's still be on the table. I like you bring up a valid point to say that like yeah maybe he could play the whole season because this was such a big deal, but I mean at the same time again age is a factor. He's pretty washed. I don't know how much he's got left if he's got anything left. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, do we really think that OBJ is gonna want to play more than one game, or if he's gonna want to play one season? I don't know. I think we spent already too much time on it, anyways. So we got to move on. Yeah. All right, we got to move on to the next thing. That's we got to talk about the most unsurprising blockbuster trade of the decade, and that is AJ Brown getting traded to the New England Patriots for one first round pick and one fifth round pick. I believe it's a 2028 first round pick, and
The fifth round pick is with AJ Brown.
oh, it's going with AJ Brown. I thought it was going back to the Eagles.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
All right. Anyways, a decent return for the Eagles getting a first round pick for AJ Brown. We've seen this, been drawn out over the last couple months. The Eagles obviously drafting Mekhi Lemon in the first round of this past draft, was the most clear and obvious sign that the Eagles are probably going to move on. I mean, we've been hearing it for what would you say, Miles? Like over a year, maybe 2 years at this point. That AJ Brown could be traded. Where is he going to go? And finally it's happened. It's the most unsurprising move ever. So, anyways, Miles, what's your take on it?
Well, listen. To me, AJ Brown is overrated. That's a hot take, but that's my opinion. I don't see him as valued as a first round pick. It's that I say the same thing about Jalen Waddle, and I think that's just because a first round pick for a receiver just who's not like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, it's just hard for me to comprehend. But if the Patriots could make it to the Super Bowl off of Stephon Diggs, then why the heck can they not go back with A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs, right? They had a non-existent wide receiver room. Really, they were built off of underdogs. So now you're bringing in two big names. What's going to change? Will this be a bigger season from Drake May? I don't know. I genuinely I'm not sure if Drake May can replicate what he did last year. But now giving him AJ Brown, Romeo Doubs, you would think he'd be able to, but I just have a gut feeling that it'll fall apart a little bit for the Patriots this year. I'm not saying they won't get back on, but I don't see them replicating another Super Bowl run. Now, on the Eagles side of things, this is best case scenario for you. You got the problem out of your locker room, right? Your locker room's been the topic of conversation for the last 2 years. So you fix that a little bit. Now you see Mekhi Lemon, who already had some question marks character-wise, but we're going to see. We're going to see if this works. We're going to see if Devontae Smith can handle the load. We're going to see if Mekhi Lemon is who we think he is. And to me, Saquon Barkley is popping champagne right now because he's going to be getting the ball 50 more times with A.J. Brown out the door.
Yeah, I agree. And getting back to what you said about Drake May and what his future, what the outlook for this season is, and the Patriots overall, I think you're right to be worried about some sort of regression because it's hard to replicate the season that Drake May just had. And I do think we're gonna see a little bit of regression from Drake May, but I think that's gonna be more because Drake May is not gonna have that much pressure to really deliver the ball as crisp to that gaggle of wide receivers that he had last year, which was led by Stephon Diggs, who, in my opinion, again, and you probably share this, is by no means AJ Brown talent. I think Stephon Diggs is past his prime at this point, while AJ Brown is, still in like the like the twilight years of his prime and getting onto like the last couple years of his career at this point. So, in my opinion, we're going to probably see regression from Drake May statistically, but I think that's going to be because with a upgrade wide receiver room, it's going to take a little bit more pressure off Drake May. But I do understand the possibility that we're going to see some regression from Drake May. And then, yeah, Eagles getting a return for AJ Brown, which is a first round pick. A first round pick is a first round pick. You'll take it any day. And you're getting a wide receiver that's on a rookie deal. Most likely is going to not be as much of a headache as AJ Brown was. I think you're going to take that every single day. First round caliber wide receiver and an extra first round pick for an upcoming draft and getting a headache out of your locker room. That's a Howie Roseman type deal that, you're going to take every single day. So I think that's a great trade for both sides, honestly, at this point. So now to wrap up, we got one final trade to break down from today. The big one that, Miles, did you see this coming? Because I mean, we haven't talked in a little while. We haven't. But I don't think you or I don't think any of us saw this coming. So, anyways, Miles Garrett is a frickin' frackin' Ram. So,
Yeah.
absolute blockbuster deal that came out of nowhere. Because Miles, we've seen this a lot. We've seen over the last, I don't know, maybe 2 years. It's kind of a similar story as AJ Brown. The Browns have been, like, man, are we gonna trade Miles Garrett? Like, maybe we will. Maybe we should. No, we're gonna extend him. And then coming into this offseason, oh, maybe we're going to trade AJ Brown, excuse me, Miles Garrett again. No, never mind. It's the NFL draft. We're probably not going to trade him. Then, boom, we trade Miles Garrett to the Rams. Okay. Anyways, yeah, crazy stuff went down with this one. No one else saw this coming. So, Miles, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I agree with you. I did not see this one coming in a million years. This, it's just such weird timing
Yeah.
for a move of this caliber, right? We're seeing he's the reigning defensive player of the year. He just broke the single season sack record. So I mean his stock improved tremendously after this year. But it's so weird. We just finished up the draft. We're starting to head into, what's it called? Training camps for rookies and new guys and all that. So it's just we're kind of getting ready to start the season, and then all of a sudden, the one of the biggest trades we've seen in a while happens, and the reason why it's so big is because not only did Miles Garrett just break the single season sack record, but he's going to the Rams, who already were the favorite of the Super Bowl contenders coming into the year. Now grab Miles Garrett, which is absolutely insane. Their GM is one of the best GMs we have ever seen, right? This guy has made what? One, two. This guy's made 3 picks since Jared Goff. It was Jared Goff, Jared Verse, and Ty Simpson. Okay?
Yep.
The rest of those years have been traded. Not only did this man bring in one of the best corners with a pick in Trent McDuffie, he signed a top corner in Jalen Watson. He brings in Miles Garrett. All right? This is insane. But then the Browns perfectly did this. When do we ever hear the Browns made a good move? This is a good move, without a doubt. Jared Verse is a rising superstar. This man is very, very talented. He was the reigning defensive rookie of the year, coming in, going to the Browns where they have time to develop him. Like, they are in no rush to win. They don't even know who their quarterback is. All right. So this is a great move. They're also getting a first round, second, and third round pick.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's trade capital. So now you have trade capital. You also have a million quarterbacks for trade capital. They are set up to take their future franchise quarterback next year if they decide they need it. Not only that, but they also have Jared Verse leading that. 22-year-old Jared Verse leading that team. 22 or 24, somewhere around
It's
that
25.
range. And that's where Jared Verse is. That instead of 30-year-old Myles Garrett, who really didn't want to be there anymore, right? You
Yeah.
tried to play with him and you sucked. So now you trade him. He's on the Rams. Rams are looking like the best team assembled in years. I'm talking the best team we have seen put together on paper since Tom Brady and Randy Moss. All right. This is insane. Arguably the greatest on paper team we have ever seen in Los Angeles over there. Andrew, what do you have?
Yeah, I agree. I've been, looking on social media today, like in wake of this trade, and I saw a lot of funny stuff, like funny comparisons. First, the Rams are the second LA team to just stack their roster. Look at the Dodgers and what they're doing out there. And now the Rams are basically copying that same thing. And also, Les Snead is the name of the GM of the Rams, by the way. And Les Snead has done a masterful job with just assembling that roster. It's absolutely insane with what he's done. And yeah, it's a good return for the Browns. They get a really young pass rusher to lead that defense with Carson Schweschinger on that as a linebacker as well. Denzel Ward as well is in that defense as well. And then, of course, Rams getting the best, maybe the best defensive player. Not just the best defensive player, maybe the best player in the NFL right now. There's a debate right now that Myles Garrett might be the best overall player in the NFL right now, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. Maybe besides, true NFL diehards that are truly considering that. So, yeah, good return for the Browns, getting set up for the future, and then the Rams are going all in pretty much this year with signing Matthew Stafford to an extension, which I mean still doesn't make sense when they drafted Ty Simpson, but that's another story for another day. They still have Puka Nakua, they still have Devontae Adams, still have Colby Parkinson, even though I don't think he's the best tight end they could have gotten. I think they could have gotten Kenyon Sadiq and been, oh boy, that's a fever dream right there, baby. And they still got a stacked defense with all the corners they just brought in. Their only real weakness, by the way, and they addressed it in the offseason with getting two of the best corners that you could possibly get this offseason. So the Rams are going truly putting the chips in, not truly pushing the chips in. I saw this. This was kind of funny. They're not pushing the chips in. They're pushing everything on the line. They're putting the family. They're putting the kids. They're putting the house up. They're putting the mortgage on the line. They're putting SoFi on the line, pretty much. So yeah, you get it. So yeah, Rams going all in. Browns, getting set up for the future. It's a good move overall. So yeah,
Well,
still
can we
absolutely fine.
just talk about what would happen if the Rams don't win the Super Bowl this year?
Oh yeah.
Stafford retires.
Oh yeah.
Now Puka, I believe, is coming up on a contract extension, and you're not going to have the money because you're paying Myles Garrett. What do you do?
I don't know. You're gonna lose Devonte Adams too after this too. Parkinson,
Right.
yeah, like
It's now or never.
yeah, like that's what I mean. Like when you're putting everything on the line, you really are.
Right. Like this is a huge move, but let's be honest, this is the right move. I'm
Yeah.
seeing a lot of hate that the Rams did this. I don't care. You didn't have time to watch Jared Verse slowly develop into a superstar. You needed someone now, right? You need to capitalize on Stafford being an MVP level quarterback, an MVP quarterback at 40 years old. So this is the right move. The Rams in the NFC terrified, right? Especially
Oh
for
yeah.
as a Packer fan,
Oh
when
yeah.
our star running back just got out of jail and we have no idea what's going on. Micah Parsons has a torn ACL. Tucker Kraft has a torn ACL. Our cornerback room still sucks. I just don't know, and I'm terrified of the Rams right now.
And remember, we gotta play them on Christmas Eve. No, Thanksgiving Eve, right? One of those two.
Some One of those two. One of my holidays will be ruined.
Yep. So yeah, I think the Rams. I think just by our discussion, like I'm just recapping our discussion in my head. Yeah, I think the Rams might have broken the NFL. They might have legitimately broken the NFL. This is kind of like what the Dodgers have done. They signed Shohei. Oh, they got Mookie Betts. They signed Shohei. They get Kyle Tucker. They get Yamamoto. They get Blake Snell. They get whoever. They got Freddie Freeman. Like the Rams are breaking the NFL like the Dodgers are breaking baseball right now. So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, that's our little impromptu what the heck is going on in the NFL kind of discussion here between me and Miles. So that's gonna wrap it up. Oh, real quick, Aaron Rodgers is back, by the way. So Rodgers doing his last hurrah on the Steelers with Mike
Boys are
McCarthy.
back in town. The boys are back in town. Oh, hey, I saw this funny thing. I saw this funny comparison.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so people are saying this is the overhyped season that we had in the NBA a few years ago. So people are saying, "Oh, it's going to be Rams and the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Oh.
It's going to be the big names, all that." And then they showed what people were saying a few years ago when the Lakers signed Russell Westbrook and the Nets had that super team with James Harden,
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving, and it had the projection was those two in the finals, but the Bucks won that year. Like
Oh yeah.
we are saying all this, but there's a good chance that neither of those teams win.
Yeah. So I mean, so when you're saying that, all I'm hearing is that the Packers have a good chance to go back to the Super Bowl like the Bucks did when the super team in the same conference was going up against the run it back with Aaron Rodgers and the AFC and the Steelers. That's all I'm hearing.
Oh, this is it, baby.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what do you think's gonna happen? What is Puka Nakua's toe gonna be on the line when he goes in to catch it, just like Kevin Durant?
Oh.
I mean, are we predicting the NFL season right now?
I mean, we might. we might. We might be, man. Oh man, that's so good.
It's incredible comparisons you're getting here, where you can't get anywhere else in sports podcasts.
This is the type of stuff that you click onto, knowing that it's gonna be so unserious, but it's gonna be incredible to listen to. Imagine if we had video. Imagine if we had a camera. Imagine the facial expressions, like, oh man, that guy's a really balling over there, dude.
Oh my gosh. Hey, someday we'll have video and you'll get to see these beautiful faces reacting to these crazy sports world.
I don't think they want to see my ugly mug, but whatever you say. Okay, well, I think that's all the time we have. We might have overshot our stay here, but anyways.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you all so much for listening to our impromptu, whatever you call it here. I don't know what's going on. Anyways.
Unfiltered, we don't know. We're just having fun here, guys.
Yeah, we should do more of this, dude. We should do more of this.
This is great.
All right. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Miles.
And we'll see you in the next actual episode, whenever that happens. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.